Monday. Good evening. Good evening. So, I will get started. I am live on Instagram and YouTube. I will do my best to split evenly between both cameras, but I'll probably mostly be looking on Instagram just to make sure that I got anyone who pops on and has any questions. But if this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Igho. I am the owner of this platform, Igho Initiative, where we create self-care systems to help us live our best lives and support our communities without sacrificing our health. That was totally my YouTube intro, because today is usually on Sundays. I usually post a video on YouTube. If you are a subscriber on YouTube, and if you're not, you should be. You know this by now, but also if you're on Instagram and you saw my stories earlier, you know that I really did my best to upload today's video, but technology was not on my side today. But that is a-okay. I decided to improvise, let that video go. This week, I'm kicking off a new series that I wanted to get started with you all, and really plan with me is the title of the series. Planning is a huge part of my self-care practice and my self-care strategy. I am not sure how people go about their lives without planning, but it definitely supports me. And so I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about my planning process and just have some community accountability amongst us and do this weekly, because I usually plan weekly. And at the end of the last Sunday of every month is when I plan for the next month. So I thought this would be a really fitting time to kick off this series and start planning in real life, because a huge part of my goal, one of my big major aims and chief aims with what I do in this platform, is really to be an example and proof of what it's like to prioritize your wellness daily. And so that is essentially what I am here to do. So, brief little recap and kind of reflection on last week and the reason why I decided to, oh, we are paused on Instagram. Oh, and we're back. The reason why I decided to start this series is because I had a really beautiful week last week. It was great. I was able to show up for myself in the ways that I wanted to show up for myself every single day that week. And it was a really beautiful experience for me, but also because I was sharing some of my goals on social media, not just to just share about my life, but to one, hold myself accountable. And again, like I always say, I like to be the example and the proof of what is possible. And so I was sharing some of my goals, and I had lots of people DMing me and people checking in and saying, how are you doing with your goal? Hey, I didn't see you post about this today. I thought it was really beautiful. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm all about community accountability. And so that is part of what this series is all about, holding each other accountable to making sure that we are doing the things that we say that we will. And yeah, and especially me as well. It's going to support me with being more consistent with my planning. I do this every week, but some weeks I'm just like, ugh. But if we are here together, if we're doing this every Sunday together, then I'll definitely, hopefully, Lord willing, I'll be able to show up consistently, and then you'll be able to do so as well, especially for those who are not quite planners themselves. I think this will be a great way for us to get into the habit of that. Let's see, I'm just reading my notes so I don't miss anything. So yes, I said this is going to be a series. Today is going to be a little bit short just because I just want to be able to kick it off and let y'all know what is happening. And then in the coming weeks, it'll just be on Instagram. And then maybe on the last Sunday of the month, I will also go live on YouTube as well to do what I'm doing right now. But for today, I'll just show you what I'm working with. But in the following weeks, we'll actually plan together. So if you don't already know, I posted a video on YouTube in depth of what my planning process looks like. And so I'm going to briefly show some of the things that I use. So I mentioned my digital planner. This is my 30-day planner that I made. It's a digital planner, but I print out the pages myself because I'm someone who I definitely need to see things, like write things out physically. So that's the first thing. I have a little binder, and then there's sheets that go in there. The first thing I do is, this is the first page. Excuse my nails, y'all. This is the first page. So I start with a reflection of the past 30 days. And then on the back of that page is a little space for me to journal. And really, again, if I need to sort of reflect more and talk about what I'm looking forward to, et cetera, et cetera. The next page is a page called Visualize. It's kind of like your vision board for the month, a mini one. I usually do like some sort of brain dump or a mind map. It's often called sometimes. So like a context map, like what do I want my month to look like? And then kind of like what are the main pieces that will branch out of that? And then of course the boxes to put in the months or the days of the months and what some of the major things that I have to do for that for each day that month. This is the other end of it. I realized I should probably have put it in the binder. That would have been easier to show you all. And then I have some pages for goal setting. So goal setting prompts right here. It talks about what the goal is, my why behind the goal. I don't know if y'all can see this. There you go. My why behind the goal, and then action steps to that goal. So I have 3 of those pages. And then the next thing is my weekly goals. I list them out for each day. What are the 3 major tasks that I need to do? And then action steps for each of those. And then on the back of that is my daily self-care. Once I know what my work looks like each week, then I do my self-care. Sorry about the lighting, y'all. My living room / office area is just, the lighting is all types of weird. And then the last page that I do is the daily intentions. So that is that on that. It seems like a lot, but this only happens on the last Sunday of the month where I have to go through all of these pages, or not have to. I get to go through all these pages and really think about what my goals are for the month, really get clear on what they are and how I'm going to achieve them. But on a weekly basis, the only 2 things that I look at in terms of filling it out is my weekly goals and my self-care practice, but also I will just refer to obviously the month, what I'm doing for the month, and maybe even my 3 goals for the month. I will refresh myself just to look at those. But in terms of filling things out, these pages I fill out last Sunday of the month, and then only 2 to 3 pages every Sunday for my weekly goals. Excuse me. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. So other things that I do is I have a little like notebook here where I list, again, like I said, I like to write things out. Even though I go from my Google Calendar, that's the first thing that I look at. I always like to write things out as well in terms of what are the big ticket items. I just literally just list out all the things that I have to do that I know of already. And then I will go each week and then highlight per day, like what are the tasks I have to do on Monday? What are the tasks I have to do on Tuesday? And so on and so forth. And then I have these little colorful pens. Again, if you watch the planning routine video that I did, I talked about ways to make planning engaging for you. I like colorful things, so I make sure that I have my color pens and Sharpies and highlighters all with me. And then I play some lo-fi and I start planning. So that is pretty much it. That is what I do for planning. So I'm going to get started. Hopefully you have some of your planning tools with you if you are already a planner. And if not, I will definitely add a link on YouTube. I'll add a link to my 30-day planner, or you can literally just get out a blank sheet of paper and start to list out all of the things that you need to do for this week and get it going. So I'm going to turn up the music. I have a little lo-fi playlist going on and I will get started. I'm going to move the camera away on Instagram because it's weird to just have the camera on my face while I'm working. And then maybe we will just turn this slightly over. It's a weird angle, but that'll have to do for now. And let's get to planning, y'all. Hopefully you are ready to do so. I'm going to be on for about another 10 or so minutes and then I will log off. All right. So happy planning, y'all. Hey, Google, turn up volume 10%. Hey Google, turn up volume 10%. All right, y'all. For those of you who are still sticking by and actually planning with me, there is my reflection page. I'm not going to show you too much because you don't need to be my business like that. But just finished my 30-day reflection. That took me, I want to say, about 5 to 6 minutes. And I'm going to skip the think space for now and then start filling out my month. So, in case you're following along, if you are someone who puts your plan on Google Calendar to start, or you just list things out, I would start now mapping out what your month is going to look like. I just saw something I want to point out. So a couple of things. When my monthly sheets go in my binder, they go in together like so. And just at the bottom here, so June ends on a Wednesday. So I just continued with in a different color for the other days in July, so that when you come here on Sunday, you are able to see what's coming up for that week, right? Still, even though you are planning on that Sunday, you still have a bit of an idea of what the rest of that week is going to look like. So I always make sure if there's room, I will add the first couple of days of the next month as well. So you want to be ahead of the game with your planning. So just wanted to share that little piece. If you're just joining, I'm going to be on for another 5 more minutes. I'm just getting started with the planning process. I shared a bit of what I use. I shared my digital planner. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And yeah, I'm just filling out what my tasks look like for the month. I typically start off with the stuff that is obviously, consistent, what I do every week. And then I check my Google Calendar for some of the big ticket items that are newer for the month, for instance. Hey, if you're joining us on Instagram, we're just in the thick of our planning. So if you're already someone who plans, go ahead and start planning. If you are not, try to list out some of your tasks that you have for this month or even this week just to start, and you can go from there. All right, y'all, I'm going to continue off camera now. Hope this was helpful. And of course, I'll see y'all next week. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments for me. Or if you are on Instagram, now that I'm looking at y'all, definitely send me a DM if you have any more questions. I will definitely put up the replay on Instagram for you all sometime tomorrow. Hey, Google, turn down volume 10%. Hopefully y'all heard that, but I'm going to sign off now. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Of course, next week we will be back on again, or I will be back on again, and hopefully you are as well, and you are a lot more prepared. So I will leave this replay up, obviously, on YouTube, and then on Instagram. This replay will be going up tomorrow so that you can go and review this and have your supplies ready for next week, and we'll get cracking. We'll be definitely a little bit longer next week. This process usually takes me about 45 minutes to an hour sometimes, depending on what I need to plan. So next week will definitely be a little bit longer. So thank you all for those of you who showed up live and stuck it out with me till the very end. And for those of you who are going to be watching the replay, I hope this supports you in your planning process. And I'll talk to y'all real soon. Peace and love.